It's day number 28 in the month of February 2022. It's the final day in the month of February, mind you. And we say good morning and welcome to Up and Go right here on the Bridge 99 FM. My name is Richie B.
You know it's your boy Shellz. Good morning.
And it's your girl Queen JoJo. Happy Monday!
Yeah, yours truly, DJ Audley. Good morning, everybody. Big up.
Yeah. We're at the end of the month.
Yes,
Look at
we
that.
are.
What a month it's been.
Oh, boy.
Lord.
It's a movie.
Tell you,
It's a movie.
We
It's a
thoroughly
Netflix
enjoyed the
series.
reggae month, though. I
Yes,
tell you.
Yeah,
it
we
was
give
really
thanks.
good.
We give
Yeah,
thanks.
fantastic.
that.
And it closed with a bang
As it should.
With
on the
Diarrhea.
weekend. Yeah. And what do you
should.
call it? The Sizzler Kalonji concert?
Yes, I did get
Yeah.
an opportunity to
Awesome.
watch it. It
Was
was
good?
beautiful.
How was it? How was that?
It was.
Let me tell you something, man.
He did very well.
Miguel Collins, congratulations.
Yeah.
son.
All right.
Yeah, I will remember that concert for a long, and he was having fun with the orchestra.
was.
And there were times when he just simply said, "Please allow the orchestra to play." You know what I mean? And then, of course, yesterday the Reggae on the Pier was another awesome
Right.
event.
I didn't get to watch.
All right,
I was out.
a host of top entertainers closing out with Beres for the Hammond last night. I really enjoyed that. So how was the weekend, guys?
Jojo.
I had a really good weekend. I spent it with my family, you know.
Okay.
So I had family dinner, we talked, chat, laugh.
Pictures have emerged, you know
And yes, so I had fun. Hadn't
Yeah,
done that in
yeah.
a while.
Yeah, little of the same, Richie. You don't
Yeah.
know. Me and the queen, you know. I left my machine and roll my queen.
Oh, you
Yeah,
mean?
man.
You know.
Oh, you mean?
Yeah, we take a drive out and you know, just unwind, you know. And,
Yeah.
and like Jojo spent some time with the family when I got back. And,
Okay.
you know, this was a good vibe. Just relax and enjoy yourself.
Sounds good to me. DJ, Audley,
Yeah,
what's up?
Wearing all my hats, man. Work, more work.
Come on, there's another way to put it. Money, money,
I love
money.
it.
Yeah.
It's time for us to go into the WTF.
What the fact?
And inside of What the Fact this morning. Oddly, oh, you're so silent over this. All right, we'll take care of this. Don't worry about it. We got this, son. Now, the heading, the severed head of a sea slug can grow a whole new body. That is the fact that we're sharing with you this morning. Now, listen to it. It sounds like something out of a horror film, frankly speaking, but it's all too real. The Elysia CF marginata, a type of sea slug, has been found to not only survive decapitation, but to be able to grow a whole new body from it. Ecologists at Naro Women's University in Japan found that a few hours after having their heads severed from their bodies, the snails, their heads, were already nibbling on algae as if nothing had happened. And further, in about 20 days, 1/3 of the sea slugs studied had fully grown back their bodies, including their heart. That is a fact that we wanted to share with you this morning.
Ah, boy, Richie, I see the movie already, I watch a show already, you know. So watch what I go on. Here's my fear with this whole thing. This cool, you know. But my fear is, we know scientists there. They're going to want to find a way now to say, oh, can we incorporate that DNA into ours and all of a sudden we have a slug virus. I can't.
Can't deal with that.
Scientists, please. Left it with the slug then, please.
Now, let me tell you, one thing is certain. I don't suspect that there will be the words endangered species will occur in the same sentence as these as these slugs.
Sea slugs, yeah.
Because them have no problem
Wow.
in terms of replenishment.
Wow.
Never
Yeah.
heard of a story like this before. I wonder if my listeners are as surprised as we are many times when we carry these stories. What was it?
That was WTF. What
the fact? Time for update, ladies and gentlemen. We'll update you on current topical issues from not just entertainment. It can be politics. It can be any subject for that matter.
Anything.
Yeah.
So, she likes to say ladies first, even before we do. So we'll go right over to Jody and see what you got to update us on first of all. Jody?
Okay, good morning again, Bridge Nation. So DJ Cassidy's Pass the Mic Reggae Edition 2022 was a hit. 2021 reggae and dancehall acts were showcased on the global stage at DJ Cassidy's special edition of Pass the Mic BT After Party 2022. And this is following the 53rd NAACP Image Award on Saturday night. And we had some major reggae veterans like Shaka Demos and Pliers. They performed Murder, She Wrote. It was just amazing. And we had, of course, our ladies did extremely well. Queen Patra, Nadine Sutherland.
I'm on a romantic call.
Yeah, missed it when she was. I was like, yes, Patra.
Yeah, Nadine was also.
And Nadine was looking fabulous, and Sister Nancy did well also. It was just really great. It was a good vibe. So I'm really proud of the ladies. They did excellent.
Pass the Mic was a hit. I suspect that the numbers are going to really swell in terms of viewership to that product. Big up Cassidy.
Yes, sir.
And DJ, our very own Nikki Z was playing at the after party. I saw her in a segment where she was almost like performing alongside Marcy Chin and giving her some encouragement. It's a good look. Big respects every time, Nikki. All right, that's one item.
Yes, sir.
Shellz, what you got, bro?
Well, speaking of powerful women in the music, Spice, we all know Spice. She links up with Pastor Stephen Blake for motivational anthem titled Solid Ground. You know, we all know Spice is known for her hardcore lyrics and bars, you know. And while her signature style has been specializing in making sexy music for the women, you know, she's coming into a different side of the dancehall, you know. Spice, whose given name is Grace Hamilton, is featured on a gospel track titled Solid Ground by dancehall Reverend Pastor Stephen Blake. Now, Pastor Stephen Blake made headlines last year when he spoke about coming into the dancehall to convert people with the music. And it's also surprising that he chose Spice for the collaboration versus others who are known to produce gospel music. Now, nevertheless, Solid Ground is less Spice. This is interesting. This is less Spice and more Grace Hamilton. But the flavor and talent are the same, as she shows her musical range is far beyond what has been delivered to the fans. The spiritually themed song talks about faith and remaining composed as life's hardship takes their toll. It's a beautiful thing. Mom, can I try DJ her part there? Cause she dropped a line. She dropped some bars. She said, "I am human. Pray every day. I'ma just have to stay strong. People try to bring me in a confusion for argue. That have to be temptation. But check my situation. I have admiration. And as a woman, me say your moral, it have to be strong. All your concentration, no break your meditation, because down to the past I have temptation." Woo! Spice sings in the opening verse of that song.
Okay.
So you can look forward to that.
So what you trying to tell me, say? Lady saw left church, come and dance all.
Well, I never saw. I wasn't in that.
I ain't going there.
That's a good point.
I need to know.
We need to know. No, that's a good question.
Are you trying to tell me that the next time I see Lady Saw, I'm going to say, "Yo, Muma, wagwan." And when Mr. Spice, Mr. Praise the Lord. No, somebody needs to explain what's going on.
Yep.
Well, we look forward to getting our hands on that track. Stephen, I think, is the son of Paul Blake, who is also in the music industry. And from Bloodfire Posse days, I think it's his son. So it's a connection there. All right, thanks for that. Well, we're looking at the story of the out of Poland, where the Polish government, in fact, has condemned reports that it is turning away non-white people seeking to cross the border from Ukraine as fake news. They say such claims have been widely shared on social media and also represented falsehoods. Many have struggled to cross, with reports of queues stretching kilometers on the Ukrainian side of the border. Among them are some third country nationals who are living in Ukraine, and of course all of our own students. I think by now it has been confirmed that they have crossed into Poland. So it would not be a fair statement to say that Poland is turning back the non-white people, because I suspect that our Jamaican students are all non-whites. One video which has been watched over 2 million times on Twitter shows a group of African students in a confrontation with officials who appear to be refusing to let them pass. Some descriptions attached to the video suggest that they are Polish officers, though in fact they are Ukrainian.
Exactly.
So Poland wants to clear that up, and we want to thank them publicly for at least accommodating not just our students but others that they have been taking over, because I suspect thousands and thousands of people are trying to get over into Poland at this time based on what's going on in Ukraine. So that's what you call updates.
Yes, Bridge Nation, it is time for the proverb of the day. JoJo, the educational one.
So Rainford is going to play the proverb of the day for us.
Nice.
Turtle now want trouble, make he walk with the house panny back.
You all heard that?
One more time for the
Turtle now
people.
want trouble. Make he walk with the house panny back.
Turtle now
Now
want
want
trouble.
trouble.
Make he walk with the house on he back. That's on a Jamaican proverb.
No, that's it's from Guyana. I tell you, you guys, I'm just struggling to say the sentences.
Yeah.
So the meaning of that is always be prepared for the worst.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
what that means.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's the-
Yeah, turtle no want no trouble, so that's why I'm walk with him. Oh, funny. I
on
get
his
it.
back.
Okay,
I get it.
So he's always prepared.
Yeah.
No matter what comes at him.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Alright,
man.
I like that. I like that.
Turtle and wise.
Wise fella.
Yes, Bridge Nation, that was your proverb of the day. And it takes us now into our next segment, one of my favorites. It's time for Pet Peeve. Jojo, what do you have for us today?
All right, so our pet peeve came from a listener. So they just sent no name, no nothing. They
No
sent
name?
it to our WhatsApp
Okay.
as we have requested, and he's sharing his pet peeve with us this morning. You're gonna
Sound like
appreciate
it's
this one.
something funny, you know?
All right, pet peeve, Redford.
My pet peeve is when my wife tells me so she'll go and cook. So when I want to eat anything all day, I meet her in the evening, she call me at the bed and just go to sleep. Especially when tell me she have a look about stew peas. Then she just go sleep. And me that they hungry, I'll watch her the whole night.
I felt that. Me feel it, especially stew piece part.
Woo.
Wow.
That's his pet peeve.
I actually feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
You have my sympathies, brother.
And it would seem as though this happened more than once for it to become his pet
Yeah.
peeve, right?
Jano.
Why, if you're tired, brethren?
No man, I promise the man stew peas and then go fall asleep, man. That hurt feelings in a man.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Man, I eat all day
I
now.
wonder women up I eat. 2 slices of bread.
2 slices of bread and a cup of tea.
A cup of tea.
Hold it.
Oh, gosh, I hope that doesn't happen to any other member of our audience.
I swear. Seen that,
I know
man.
some man fight for less than that, too.
Less
What?
than that. What do you mean, man? Come home hungry, no food,
Yeah.
and
The
you
man-
sleep. What?
The man
Oh,
intentionally say,
gosh.
nah, I gotta eat no food. Our wife here chef up something.
Yeah.
Jano.
Can't hear the
take-
earth in
take
them
bed
voice, you
instead.
know, Richie.
Oh, sure, brother. But
No,
Bridge
that one,
Nation.
That's what you call a standout pet peeve. And we're very, very pleased to be joined at this time by the president of the People's National Party, Mr. Mark Golding. Good morning, Mark. Welcome to the program. How are you doing?
Hi, Richie B. I'm well, thank you. Good to be here.
I also have with me Shellz, who will ask you a question or two, all right?
Good morning, Mr. Golding.
Morning, Shellz.
Now, I see that you were up early this morning based on your tweet at 3:49 a.m., Mark, where you said, "Good night, Jamaica. I've been reliably informed by some of the students that they have safely crossed into Poland." You actually went on to say a few other things. Can you tell us a little bit more about the conversation that you had with the students maybe early this morning?
Well, it was quite brief. I had sent one of the students who I've been in touch with, the same person who I arranged the assistance through on Friday. I was in touch with him over the weekend, and he indicated to me that, well, you know, they'd had a terrible ordeal yesterday because the bus that was arranged for them to travel from Lviv to the Polish border was stopped, and they had to disembark and walk. I was told 30 kilometers, which is, you know, a significant distance.
That's like over 20 miles.
Well, I think I looked more like about 17 miles. or
Yeah,
something
thereabouts.
like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it was, of course, freezing cold, and it's a 9 or 10 hour walk. And when they got to the border, they had to join a line, and they were in the line for many hours. And of course, they hadn't had an opportunity to eat or you know, bathe for days and so on. So I mean, they've really been through a hellish experience. So I sent him a message, you know, how it was going, because I knew they'd been in the line, and he eventually confirmed that that group had got through and were, you know, and I know that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs had made arrangements to have somebody there to meet them on the other side. So I believe that they're in a much better situation now.
Or said Minister of Foreign Affairs actually had put a post out that suggested that maybe one individual among the lot was having some health challenges. Did you get any update on that?
No, I did hear that, and that she was in an ambulance, but I haven't heard anything more about that. I'm aware that there is another student who, in fact, didn't go this route, but has gone to the Romanian border, and I believe she has got through now. I was in touch with her mother, and she was a bit concerned about whether, what would happen. But I also reached out to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and gave them that student's particulars, her phone number, and so on, and the chat that I'd had with her mother about it. So they, I believe, reached out to her, and so I'm hoping she's okay.
Yes, Mr. Golding. First and foremost, as a young Jamaican, I want to just say thank you. Thank you for bringing forth some solutions, for our people overseas, going through this crisis. I just want to publicly thank you. The $10,000 that you and your team managed to raise, were the students able to receive those funds in a seamless manner? Well,
that money is going to, or has gone to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Mm-hmm. I didn't really want to have a fragmented approach to this. I thought it best to route the money through the official channels, but at least they would have money that was readily available to assist the students. So they sent me their bank details, unfortunately, after 4 o'clock on Friday. So a transfer was not possible. But I sent it over the weekend, so it should be in their account this morning and available to them.
Okay. Many Jamaicans, Mark, are quite heartened at the fact that you, as leader of the PNP, and your team put together this 10,000, some of which we understand might have come from your own personal funds. And I think it can also be mentioned that the Prime Minister also generated some funds, somewhere in the region of $11,500. I've seen many positive reactions to those developments. Are you also aware as to whether or not Jamaicans have we have students in Russia, and what's the word coming out of Russia for students who might be there, or Jamaicans really?
I think they're quite concerned. One of the students' mothers reached out to me over the weekend and, asked to me assist in any way I could. So I suggested to her that I could put her in touch with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I don't think the Russian students are in any physical danger at this time, rather the students in Russia. But obviously with the sanctions and the very crippling sanctions that have been imposed on Russia, their situation is quite uncertain. So I think it's best if they keep in touch with the ministry, and hopefully the ministry can stay on top of the situation and advise them as best as possible. Yes, in terms of the funds, I spoke to the PM at 1 o'clock on Friday to tell him that, I wanted to make this contribution to the party had raised some money and so on for it. I had already personally helped that same student earlier in the morning because they were trying to leave Kharkiv, which was, it's quite close to Russia, it's in eastern Ukraine, and they needed help to get on the train to get across to Lviv, which is in the west of Ukraine. And I had been through WhatsApp in touch with a student there, and fortunately he had a bank account in Jamaica, which was at the same bank as my bank. So I was able to make a transfer, which hit his account right away. And he was able to then use those monies, I think, to purchase tickets for about 24 students. At least that's what he told me he intended to do. Mm-hmm. And they did get on the train and they did leave, which is very good because Kharkiv now has street fighting and so on. So it's quite dangerous there. Mm-hmm. But when I spoke to the PM at 1 o'clock to surprise him of the effort and that I'd like to do it through the ministry, he said, well, that's a great idea, and he would want to match that through the Jamaica Labour Party and make it a common thing. And I said, well, great, Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but I know our funds have been sent, and I assume that their funds will be sent.
Right. It's a good look from our perspective, and so we commend both leaders in that regard. I know you had some reservations about the handling and the offer that might have been made by the government initially, but as it is now, with the efforts that are being made, are you somewhat more satisfied?
Well, I was a little perturbed at what the initial approach that was taken, because the circumstances, I think, were sufficiently dangerous and uncertain that a very proactive approach that was easily acceptable by the students would have been the way to go. But anyway, that's water under the bridge. They've had a hell of an ordeal, but I do believe over the weekend in particular, the ministry did actively attempt to assist, and that is why when they finally crossed the border into Poland, I believe there was a bus waiting for them that had been arranged by the ministry, and arrangements to, for them to have accommodation and so on, and hopefully make their way back to Jamaica as soon as they can. So, yeah, I think that the situation has been handled better as time has passed and as more public attention has come on it, and people have been anxious to see the government really helping these students, and I think that the ministry has responded well to that now.
Yes, indeed. Again, Mr. Golden, I just want to say thank you because as a person who've been through tertiary level education, and I even got offers overseas as well, I could only imagine what it's like for students over there and being unsure, as to whether or not our government will be able to help them. So thank you and the PM for just coming together, because we don't see unity like this often, especially my generation. We're so accustomed to seeing the bickering and stuff. So to hear that you guys have had the conversations and put these solutions forward, I just want to say thank you.
Yes. Well, I reached out to him and, he responded appropriately. So I'm glad for that. And I do agree that in times of real adversity, it's important that a united approach be taken, And in fact, we had talks yesterday, so-called Royal talks on matters, not about the issues we've been discussing here, but on other issues, So again, I've been calling for that for about a year, and we were able to finally get to meet. So that was another good conversation to try and reach consensus, if we can, on some important issues.
Mark, you have preempted me in that comment, and I'm still going to read my question as I had drafted it, which says, you are on record calling for the return of the Vale Royal talks between the government and the opposition. Those talks resumed yesterday, we're told. Are you pleased with the outcomes so far, and how much can you say this morning in terms of the areas covered in your deliberations? I still decided to ask my question.
Yeah, well, I can't say much because the rules that govern those talks are that they are really to be open and frank, and they're really supposed to be kept within the domain of the talks. But what I would say is that we discussed issues to do with the Constitution. I discussed issues to do with national security. We discussed issues to do with the pandemic and issues to do with the 60th anniversary celebrations. Those are the issues that we touched on. Mm-hmm. And the spirit of the talks was positive, I would say. And, we were able to go in. They lasted about nearly 4 hours, I think. So we were able to, speak in some amount of depth on our perspectives on these issues, and I think that it would have fostered greater understanding, and I wouldn't want to go further than that, but I would just say that, yes, I think they were positive.
Okay, so this would be yourself and the Prime Minister, and both of you had a team of persons with you?
That's right, yeah, we both had, I think it was 5 on each side, plus persons who were there to just record the proceedings and work on a joint communique, which we expect to come out today.
Is there a press conference, joint press conference that will be held?
I don't think so. I haven't heard of that being suggested, but there will be a communique released.
Okay. And finally, what's the frequency going forward? Is there a planned follow-up date?
We did not set a planned date, but there are some matters arising which will require further bipartisanship. So I anticipate that we will have further discussions, not necessarily Vale Royal discussions, but maybe some technical discussions which will involve both sides. Mm-hmm.
Thanks for your frank and open discussions with us this morning, Mark, and congratulations on the support that you have provided so far to the students who are in the Ukraine, and all the best to you, and we keep in touch.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much, Richie B and Shellz. All the best.
Have a good day. That was Leader of the Opposition, Mark Golding. And again, we want to commend the leaders for coming forward and in some instances putting their own funds as well as other funds that they seem to have garnered.
That's unity. That's Jamaica, right?
Definitely. That's where we want to be. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, Shellz is ready with what is called Tech This. And he's got something interesting. Take it away.
Yes, sir, Bridge Nation. Yes, Tech This, if you don't know what this segment is about, it's all about technological advancements all over the world. You understand, man? This one is no different. This one is for my ladies. This one is the Yves Saint Laurent Rouge Sur Monsieur, powered by Perso, but you can't just call it Perso, right? That's Perso. Now, I don't know much about makeup, but I can imagine, ladies, that it can be costly, having to purchase new lipsticks to suit your ever-changing style. What if I told you, though, that there's a device that can mix lipstick shades together, creating a customized color just for you? Well, that's where the Yves Saint Laurent Rouge Sur Monsieur, also called Perso, comes in. As stated previously, this device shades together into nearly any custom color, eliminating the need to buy a new lipstick when you want to try a new shade. Now, L'Oreal, which is the brand that owns YSL's cosmetic line, is definitely proud to show off Perso. It costs $299 and is about the size of a small flashlight, with a stylish makeup compact perch on top. Inside is space for 3 liquid lipstick cartridges that are deposited into the compact in precise amounts to create a custom lipstick color with the press of a button. You just swirl the lipstick colors together with the included brush and apply it to your lips. The brush is attached to the side of the Perso with a magnet, and the compact lifts off so you can take your lipstick with you on the go. Just for, little touch-ups, nothing too, extravagant. Now, the $300 price tag, might be a little but Perso is designed for persons who love makeup and already drop hundreds of dollars a year on it. No. Now, the total costs include Perso and 3 cartridges, and you'll be able to purchase additional cartridges for $100 for 3. Think about it, given that a single lipstick from YSL typically costs around $40, the price makes sense. It's a good deal. But, however, in the future, L'Oreal hopes to make Perso available for the company's less expensive makeup lines, which could bring the overall costs down. And that is Tech This, featuring the Yves Saint Laurent, or YSL Rouge Sur Monsieur, or Perso. Yeah, we look forward to that one, Richie.
Yeah, man, trust me.
It's time for interview with The Fix. Now, for those who've been living under a rock and now, I don't know, go on. The Fix, formerly known as Nightly Fix, is a Jamaican-based show surrounding local music, culture, and entertainment, which was created and hosted by Naro and Ari Hammond. They are here, Bridge Nation. They are here to let us know the great news that they are officially joining us here on the Bridge 99 FM. Well, go on. Yeah. What are you guys doing?
Morning, Ari.
Hi, morning. Thanks
Morning,
for having
Naro.
us.
Bless up.
Welcome to Up and Go, and welcome to Bridge 99 FM.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, guys, you know it go. You guys are no strangers to, for those who don't know, about the show, about the interesting guests you guys have had over the years, and interesting interviews, Naro, over the years.
To say the
least. Just let the viewers know, the listeners know, what can we expect? What is the Nightly Fix? What is The Fix?
Well, I'll leave that to the creator,
right.
originator to say.
Well, the concept was really to have a show, because we were on another station. We won't say which one.
Yeah.
But, we wanted to bring forth a young perspective on Jamaican pop culture and just talk about that. So I think that was the idea, and that's what it is. We branched off now into a podcast. So it's more edgy, raunchy. We're not under the B Broadcasting Commission code, but now we're gonna be to see how we transition again.
Very fun.
But that was just it, just to try and bring forth a young, fresh perspective on Jamaican pop culture. Yeah.
So it started off as what?
It started off as a radio show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So going back to our roots.
I got
basically.
you. Got you. Wow, how long now since you all started? What was their Nightly Fix?
8 years in January.
So much time fly?
Yeah.
I've lost count of how many episodes I've watched.
Believe you me, I've lost count myself. It's in the grave, man.
But it feels so short though, because it felt like it was just the other day. Like literally felt like it was just yesterday I was at Ustock. I was working there, and I'm like, oh, we can do something. And we look back because our next co-host, Javi, her son, you know how old it is because she was pregnant on the first episode.
Okay.
So her son was born in February. So that's how I know how
You don't want to get me started on all these years, because then I'd have to mention my 30 years in the business.
Wow, see that?
I mean, or 80 or 30, it's nothing, right?
And it feels like it's just yesterday that we
Just wipe
started.
the milk off our mouth.
Now, guys, I'm curious to know. You guys mentioned not having to deal with broadcasting commission and the vibes. How what can we expect from the show? Like, are you guys going to still be raunchy? You guys still going to push the boundaries, or how are you guys going to work under this new umbrella?
Well, of course, we have to probably pull back in with the ranch. But we're still going to try to be edgy within, of course, the constraints of radio and broadcasting commission and everything. And we're still going to be doing our podcast for the people out there that are wondering, because, we've built a fan base off the podcast as well, a different, type of audience and all different other animal right there. So, it's just about having that balance, and of course we've done this before.
Yeah,
we'll go back to our roots.
Right. I'm not trying to be raunchy or anything like that. but
Well, you're on morning.
Naro, this is not for you. But Ari, are you saying to me this morning on national radio that I can tune in and get my fix? I mean, I'm just trying to help me.
Yes. Definitely. You can get your fix.
Several fixes across several different media platforms as well.
Okay, got
Whichever
it.
fixes your fix. Yes. Radio, internet, yes.
Yeah. You've never shied away from controversy. We are now watching developments in Ukraine with Russia invading Ukraine and so on. But I compare that with an interview that you all conducted some time ago when one Grace Hamilton.
Wonder which one.
When one
remember
Grace
that one.
Hamilton
I remember that one.
was in attack mode. How much do you recall of that incident, and were you really taken by surprise when Spice?
It's a trap.
Well, I recall a great deal to this day. People still, refer to me as Blue Shoes and everything.
It was teal.
I keep on reminding them that it was teal. It wasn't Blue Shoes,
Okay.
But, it's something that we were able to turn something that could have been seen as a negative into a positive, because, we gained a huge audience off of it, and people respected how I handled things. So,
Most definitely.
it's just something that you just had to live through the moment and just, roll off your sleeve.
Naro, I looked at it and I said, if that were me,
Yeah.
No,
put up
trust
the deal,
me.
man.
Trust me. The amount of man will tell me that and say, brother, I should have me.
So commendations. Have you had any similar experience yourself, Ari?
Oh, God, no.
There's some little
Absolutely
tense
not.
moments here and there with some
Yeah.
guests, but nothing to that
A
extent.
soft anger turneth away wrath. I learned that in prep school. Soft anger turneth away wrath.
And your beautiful smile obviously helps too.
Yeah.
So tell us, we want to know when this show will be aired. It's called The Fix, and it's Ari and Naro and Ari. It will be on the Bridge 99 FM. I understand that you were in the studios recently taking some Photoshop ops and making sure that you got a feel of the studio and so on. When is it going to be aired here on the Bridge 99 FM?
Next week, Thursday,
Okay.
9 to 10 p.m.
Okay.
Just an hour.
1 hour. For now.
For now. Yeah. Getting our feet back wet,
Yeah. I'm curious, guys. Why the Bridge? You guys, as you rightfully said, Naro, you guys have your fan base through podcasts and the internet and all these things. Why the Bridge? Why joining with us on the Bridge?
Why not the Bridge?
Like
we
that.
like the atmosphere, like what is being built here, and we've always had a feel for radio. It's something that we've always wanted to return to, something that we've always wanted to do. As we say, it's our roots. So I just think it makes for a good partnership and a good, place to have as a stamping ground, in addition to what we're already doing.
Right.
And just the stellar lineup already, Richie.
Exactly.
Like so many
Rub
people,
shoulders with these
right?
people,
And
that's nice.
you come and you see the lineup, you're like, wow, we're gonna be amongst these people. I hope they like us. Sure, some of your audience.
You're going to be a good fit, trust me. We're excited to have you. We welcome you with open arms, and we know that you're going to do very, very well.
Thank you.
What do you want to say to the listeners out there before you go this morning?
Be afraid. Be very.
Naro.
When them start hear the promo, them I know.
I say don't take us too seriously, and just listen with an open mind, open hearts, and you're gonna realize we're not that bad. Not that bad.
You know what I mean? But we're just two young people, well, three, including
Me and
our
Javi.
other host, Javian. Whenever you want your fix, just listen to The Fix on Bridge 99 FM.
Thursday at
There it
9.
is.
Did you all envisage that you'd have taken off the way you have?
No. No. Like, we were literally just trying to. When I came up with the idea, I just wanted to get some money to pay for tuition, and that never came. So to see how it branch off now, and what we've created, it blows my mind every time. And sometimes I'm like, this not real, like this not real. But it's an honor, and you just take it day by day.
Yeah.
And it's no secret that we've been inspired by several, international radio shows. One in which is the Breakfast Club, and for us to be even mentioned on that same program by Sean Paul and by Angela Yee, during an interview. It's trippy. Yeah, mind blowing. Yeah, man. I always look on them things and say, what a blessing.
Give thanks, man.
Greater is ahead of you. We're proud of you, and we're happy to have you here with us. Good luck going forward. All right.
Thank
Much.
you.
Bless up. First interview on the bridge.
Yay!
All right.
Good having you on Up and Go. Take care, guys.
Bless up.
Next Thursday night, ladies and gentlemen, 9 o'clock in the evening until 10, you can catch Naro and Ari with The Fix here on the Bridge 99 FM to the world. And so I'm sure that Jamaicans here at home and also in the Jamaican diaspora will get a chance to hear them and to love them even more. Take care. Best wishes, all right?
Thank you.
And it's now time for us to get inside of our Secret Sound game. We do it at 9:30 every weekday morning right here on Up and Go, and we play you a secret sound. You must call in on telephone number 876-676-4996 and be sure to identify the secret sound. If you do, we have a fantastic gift for you. And so, we say welcome to the Secret Sound game.
Yes, try and win my prize, Bridge Nation. You guys did well before, but I'm not thinking I get the one at all.
Let's see. First call coming in any second now, but before we take the call, let us hear that secret sound. That sound.
Arthritis?
I don't know.
I know.
Ukraine?
What?
It
What's
sounds like
going on?
Shatalik. I don't know what that is. And there's only one member of our team who does. And if the listeners can identify that sound, that individual will indicate to us whether or not they're wrong or right.
Yeah.
So, 876-676-4996. We had a winner on Friday, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is a brand spanking new sound that you'll be hearing. Can you identify it? I think DJ Audley, I think we should give them a chance to hear it again.
Yeah.
Our new secret sound game, which starts right now. Check it out. Okay then. I don't know. You have any idea?
Well, hold on. You're looking at my hands right now.
Yeah, drop a Richie.
Give him a Richie.
I drop a Richie Rainfoot.
Give him a Rainfoot.
All right. Although it's a new game, there's one of our listeners who's brave enough to call in and try. So let's see what's happening. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
All right, Mr. Hamilton.
Yes.
The champ.
Okay, I picked up the name. I picked up the voice.
He's back.
Yeah. How you doing, sir?
I'm okay.
All right. You heard the sound a while ago.
I haven't heard it clearly. Could it play it again?
Oh yes, we can do that. Not a problem. Listen to the new secret sound. Yo. Remember, it's a new game. They need to hear it. Mr. Hamilton, sir.
Yes.
Did you hear that?
Okay. Is it a snapping turtle?
What did he say?
A snapping turtle. I like the way Mr. Hamilton thinks. Bridge Nation. I like it. Let me deliberate with the judge. Mr. Hamilton, you say a snapping turtle, right?
Yeah.
Well, sir, all I have to say to that response is wah, wah, wah. You're incorrect, sir. I'm sorry. Good try, though. Good try, Mr. Hamilton.
Hey, Hamo. Better luck next time, bro.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's a difficult one.
Is it?
We're trying to figure it out. I'm thinking even as we speak, the sound that you must identify. Here it is. It's a new game. What does that sound like? Let's just say that today we're just introducing it to your ears. And, of course, we'll get a chance to try tomorrow morning. We have one more call? All right, so if we do, then we'll... It's surprising that people are hearing it for the first time this morning and they're
brave
ready.
enough.
Yeah. So let's go in one more time. Good morning, you're on the air. Hello.
Good morning, Richie.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm okay.
Who's calling?
This is Ellie.
Hi, Ellie. Ellie, you're in Montego Bay, right?
Say that again?
Are you in Montego Bay?
Yes.
All right, Ellie. Really nice to hear from you. So, you've heard the secret sound, Ellie. What do you think that sound is?
I'm thinking that it's an animal eating from a limb on a tree. So when they pull it, it snaps.
No, Ellie. No, Ellie. I'm sorry. Sorry, Ellie.
Okay.
Thanks for trying, and better luck next time around. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 for another playtime and game time in the
Secret Sound Game.
We did tell you earlier that 18-year-old Dijonay Harris, Woolmer's High School for Girls student, was diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver, and that is an autoimmune disease 2 years ago. And since then, her life has not been the same. Dijonay's father has been left to raise some $1 million US, and so they're asking for some assistance. And they have, in fact, formed a GoFundMe account, established that account, and we have Nicolas Harris, the father of Dijonay, who is going to be talking with us right now. Good morning, Mr. Harris.
Morning, Mr. Harris.
Morning, sir. Morning, everyone.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Nicholas. How's your morning so far?
Pretty much out of routine from what I'm used to generally, but I'm trying to make the best of it.
We just want to ask you, what is the latest situation as it relates to Dijonay? What can you tell us?
Presently, the doctors are still trying to make contact and hear from other doctors overseas in relation to see how best they could facilitate a transplant procedure for her. Basically, they have made contact with a few institutions. However, we have not been able to, as yet, find one which we could immediately afford. So basically, we're still hoping that the GoFundMe can raise enough funds, and we're also hoping to find a better solution as it relates to pricing of the procedure, for the procedure.
Yeah, yes, and we're grateful to hear that. Mr. Harris, we've been discussing this, from Friday. We have a feature called Pause for a Cause, and that's when we first highlighted the situation with DJ. And we mentioned that, it's cirrhosis of the liver that she's going through right now. Could you further explain to our listeners, the disease and how it's been affecting Dijonay?
All right. We first found out about the situation when she was 16, which is 2 years ago. Her mom took her to the doctor because she wasn't feeling so well, and though the doctor had dealt with that situation, he noticed a yellowness in her eyes, and so we got referral to go do some blood work. When the results of the blood work came back, the results weren't favorable, and so the doctor referred us to the GI clinic at the University of the West Indies. And when we got there, they gave us the opportunity to do more tests. They ran more tests and so forth, and then they concluded that she had autoimmune hepatitis, which basically is swelling of the liver, and then it led to cirrhosis. So basically, her autoimmune condition basically keeps on getting worse because as we speak, she's also being affected by what they call ascites. Now, this is a condition where the fluid builds up in the cells of the abdomen. And so if you look at her, she'd seem as if she's pregnant. However, in some cases, she's swollen all around, even from her back area. And so this put her in grave pain. Sometimes she's hungry, but she can't eat because, you know, how swollen she is. It also affects her ability to breathe properly because, you know, with the abdomen being swollen, it leaves very little space for the lungs to, you know, for the lungs to do its work. And she's also plagued by other complications, for example, swelling of the feet, among other things. So on a daily basis or any moment in time, you know, the different things might be happening to her in terms of pain and discomfort.
It is a lot to go through for her and for a family as well. The funds that you're trying to raise, where would the operation be carried out? Would it be locally or overseas?
Well, the aim is to get that operation done overseas. However, as you heard, the price $1 million US was one quotation from one institution. Other institutions do exist with lower prices. However, we have not gotten any favorable response from those institutions as yet. And even so, the prices that we're hearing, they're still close to $1 million. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, there's nothing below 100,000 US. So basically, even if we manage to get the funds to do one of the operation from any of the institutions, the money that is being quoted, basically we have the understanding that money is just to do the procedure itself. There'd be other costs attracted to it. For example, further care, because you know when they do a transplant, she's gonna be in a critical state where they will have to be administering further care until the body learn to cope with the new liver, the new piece of liver that she receives.
Well, let's find out from you this morning, and we really thank you for being strong enough to speak with us and to give us these details. How can persons assist Dijonay at this time?
Well, there is a GoFundMe, which is one of the main ways we're trying to raise funds worldwide, and it's liver transplant for a DJ. If persons go on the GoFundMe page and type in that to find her account. There is also a local bank account that I have set up for local donations if persons want to try and donate locally at the Sagicor Bank. The information for that bank account, basically it's Sagicor, right? It's a savings account. The branch is Tower Street. The account number is 550-423-0394. And the account name...
I just want to repeat the number. So that's a Sagicor Bank account maintained at the Tower Street branch of Sagicor Bank. And just to be sure that we have the correct number, it's account number 550
Yes.
4230394.
Yes.
And that's a savings account, you said, right?
Yes. And the name on the account, that's my name on the account, Nicolas Harris.
Okay.
But,
Mr. Harris, thank you for the information, and as Richie stated earlier, thank you for us, finding the strength to come reason with us today. I know it's not an easy road, it's not an easy time, but we're doing what we can on our end, and I know people out there are a lot of persons out there, especially from Bridge Nation, who will be tuning in right now. But what I want to know, do you have any final words you want to leave with the Bridge Nation as it relates to finding help for your daughter?
As it is for the members of the Bridge Nation, I really thank you guys for having me and for putting the information out there. This is very hard for my family, and we're hoping and praying to find help before it's too late.
Before it's too late. Nicolas, we totally understand what you're going through yourself and your family. I dare ask, up to this morning, how would you describe Dijonay's mood? Cheerful, positive?
Despite her situation,
Yes.
she's always trying to be in a cheerful mood. So she likes to communicate and do her artwork. So to pass time, she tends to do her artwork while if she can or whenever she can move, and in an upbeat tempo. So this morning she was cheerful and she was trying to be positive as possible.
Okay. Give her our best regards. We implore you to be strong. And I personally am committing to make a contribution to this account at Sagicor, and I'm imploring others of our listeners to do likewise. Are you able to say at last account what was the figure in the GoFundMe account?
The last time I checked, it was about 57,000.
Yes.
That was about I think Saturday morning or something like that. I was busy most of the day, Saturday and Sunday, getting medications for her, so I didn't get the chance to check on the account.
Yeah, but even that is positive, although it's a far way off. But I think the first time we carried this story, we had reported, Shellz, that it was about 16,000 plus in the account. So we give thanks for those who have been contributing. And again, if you want to make a contribution to the bank account established at Sagicor Bank, it is at the Tower Street branch in the name Nicolas Harris. It's a savings account. The account number is 550-423-0394. And for the GoFundMe account,
yes, just go to the GoFundMe website and just type in Liver Transplant for DJ. It is an account that's being operated by Miss Stacey Ann McFarlane Francis. Mrs. Stacey Ann McFarlane Francis. So that's Liver Transplant for DJ on the GoFundMe account website.
All right, Nicolas, thank you for talking with us. Stay strong, and our prayers are with you and your family, all right?
Yeah, man.
Yes, thank you guys, and I have to give thanks for all the persons who have donated thus far.
Yeah,
certainly.
I hope that God keep you guys and bless you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicolas. All the best to you and your family, and hi to Dijonay as well. We're standing by to join DJ Roy and the Irish Jam Radio family up in New York City. And I think that will happen in a second now. Even as we speak, we understand that Ukrainian and Russian delegations are meeting near Belarus. And I know that the Ukrainians must be quite concerned about even the meeting spot, because it is being said that Belarus might in fact take sides with Russia and assist them in fighting. But it looks like some of the sanctions are taking effect.
Yes, man.
And we saw a lot of persons lining up, if the photographs are to be believed, in Russia, storming banks because they want to get their money out.
Yeah.
I don't know if Roy has any investment in Russia that he wants to get out.
I tell you, a good investment in Russia right now would be Russian vodka. Because they are pouring in demonstration, they're pouring Russian vodka in the road, in the streets, and demonstrating this war.
Okay.
And not just in Russia, but all over the world.
Yeah.
They're going in the streets and just throwing away Russian vodka. Now, if I had some money in that, things could have looked proper for me going into 2023.
I have a direct interest in that development.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
quite so. quite so. But we're feeling the repercussions here because gas prices are rising already. Even a loaf of bread has gone up 5% since the war has started. So, we are going to be feeling the repercussions here in the States, and I guess worldwide too.
Yeah, even in Russia, I mean, the banks have actually increased interest rates from, I think, 9.5%, and they have doubled up to 20% because of what's going on right now. So the ripple effect is definitely taking course.
Jeez.
And there are talks right now, DJ Roy, as we mentioned earlier. I think Ukraine is calling for a ceasefire and for the withdrawal of troops. We don't know if they'll get that, but we'll see what comes out of those talks.
One of the great things, they're getting assistance from everybody. And that's a good thing. They're not in it by themselves. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
The Germans are sending, weapons, and USA is sending troops and weapons. So they're not in it by itself. But war is war, and there's always casualties of war. So we hope Putin will come to his senses.
Yeah.
And don't listen to our last President 45 who says he's brilliant. And then backtrack and took it back and said, well, I'm not saying he's a genius, but what I will say is that the powers in America have no sense.
Oh, be careful. Remember, he's planning to run for the next election.
He's campaigning as we speak.
Yes.
Wow.
But I'm a little concerned, much more concerned this morning when we are hearing that Putin is now saying that he wants those team members who handle the nuclear switches to be on the alert.
Yeah.
That is a serious development, DJ Roy and Shellz.
Yeah. And even if some persons in the streets, I say, maybe it's just a little scare tactic, but you can't ramp them the game. They're a serious game for play. Nuclear weapons. That's like everybody's worst fear right now, and we have to just hope that, as DJ Roy said, somebody come to their senses soon. Hopefully, Putin himself.
Yeah.
Well,
we had a great weekend here in Jamaica, and I'm sure that many persons, including yourself overseas, would have been able to catch some of it as we closed out Reggae Month with a bang, and Black History Month as well. Did you get a chance to see any of the Sizzler performance with the 35-piece orchestra, Roy?
I caught a part of Sizzler, but in general, just a great week for reggae music. I mean, we have to say big up to Coffee. Earlier in the week, she was on the Jimmy Fallon show. Big up to Sizzler, and then we also passed the mic. On BET was amazing, and then of course the grand finale last night. What a performance, man!
Great show overall, man. We enjoyed all of that, and we give thanks. I think a lot went into the planning for this month,
and we give thanks for it. We needed it.
And during COVID, because COVID said I keep, you have to really salute, those that were behind the scene making this happen. So, we as reggae fans worldwide could enjoy, our culture.
Yeah. I know Minister Grange listens to us a lot. Minister Grange, congratulations to you and the entire team. And
respect.
I just want to say to you, Minister Grange, if you want to do an early, like a February and then a November kind of setting like this, I would encourage you, because it was so much fun this month. Trust me. Congratulations to all. What a program it was this morning. Mark Golding started us off with our first interview segment at 8 o'clock, and we looked at a lot of things to do with the Jamaican students now formerly from in Ukraine, but now in Poland, and what's happening with them, and the contributions himself as leader, and also the Prime Minister have made so far, and some updates from his perspective. We also had News 360. Our next guests at 9 o'clock, we had
Ari and Naro, creator and host of The Fix, formerly known as Nightly Fix. They will be joining us on the bridge next Thursday. 9 p.m.
Yep, looking forward to that.
Yeah, man.
And Naro issued a warning.
Yes.
Listen nervously or something like that.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Be very afraid. Okay, and we had Nicolas Harris, father of Dijonay Harris, who is currently battling cirrhosis of the liver, just seeking help. You could tell it was a very touching interview. I must say, you can tell that, trying to keep it together. I really do pray that something works out for her, because I know that this is a very hard time for the family. So if you can assist in any way, just go to the GoFundMe page.
Liver transplant for DJ.
Right.
And the Sagicor bank account, it's a savings account maintained at the Tower Street branch. It's in the name Nicolas Harris, and the account number is 550-423-0394.
Right.
I encourage everyone to make a contribution to this cause. All right.
Right.
And we'll be doing that, so we encourage you to do likewise.
Yep.
All right. Nobody won in the Secret Sound game. We'll get a chance to play again tomorrow morning, and
give thanks.
We also say big ups and thank you also to DJ Roy for joining us in the Global Connection. All right. It was a good day. Good morning.
We just hope the music, did.
It's dropped.
Yeah,
it's easy.
That was the plan. That was the plan. All right. Final words, Jody.
Yeah, you want me to give the final words?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
You got a quote, I think, from Jimi Hendrix.
Yes, and it says, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world would know peace.
Bars. Powerful. Thank you, guys. Have a great day, and we catch up with you tomorrow. Thanks for listening here in Jamaica and around the world. This has been Up and Go on the Bridge 99 FM, 99.1, 0.3, 0.5, 0.7, and 0.9 on the FM band. And we are streaming around the world
on www.thebridge99fm.com.
See you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. What a program it was this morning. Mark Golding started us off with our first interview segment at 8 o'clock. And we looked at a lot of things to do with the Jamaican students now formerly from in Ukraine, but now in Poland, and what's happening with them and the contributions himself as leader, and also the Prime Minister have made so far, and some updates from his perspective. We also had News 360. Our next guests at 9 o'clock, we had
Ari and Naro, creator and host of The Fix, formerly known as Nightly Fix. They will be joining us on the Bridge next Thursday, 9 p.m.
Yep, looking forward to that.
Yeah, man.
And Naro issued a warning.
Yes.
Listen nervously or something like that.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Be very afraid. Okay, and we had Nicolas Harris, father of Dijonay Harris, who is currently battling cirrhosis of the liver, just seeking help. You could tell it was a very touching interview. I must say, you can tell that, trying to keep it together. I really do pray that something works out for her, because I know that this is a very hard time for the family. So if you can assist in any way, just go to the GoFundMe page.
Liver transplant for DJ.
Right.
And the Sagicor bank account, it's a savings account maintained at the Tower Street branch. It's in the name Nicolas Harris, and the account number is 550-423-0394.
Right.
I encourage everyone to make a contribution to this cause. All right.
Right.
And we'll be doing that, so we encourage you to do likewise.
Yep.
All right. Nobody won in the Secret Sound game. We'll get a chance to play again tomorrow morning, and
give thanks.
We also say big ups and thank you also to DJ Roy for joining us in the Global Connection. All right. It was a good day. Good morning.
We just hope the music, did.
It's dropped.
Yeah,
it's easy.
That was the plan. That was the plan. All right. Final words, Jody.
Yeah, you want me to give the final words?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
You got a quote, I think, from Jimi Hendrix.
Yes, and it says, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world would know peace.
Bars. Powerful. Thank you, guys. Have a great day, and we catch up with you tomorrow. Thanks for listening here in Jamaica and around the world. This has been Up and Go on the Bridge 99 FM, 99.1, 0.3, 0.5, 0.7, and 0.9 on the FM band. And we are streaming around the world
on www.thebridge99fm.com.
See you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Richie B, the party master, on Up and Go, the Bridge 99 FM.